Uh, Week 4, day 3. Today's training session a little bit tiring, but there's a lot of good things going on. Number 1 is 127. Of course, having my friends to actually see it for the first time, kenric, because he hasn't seen my 127. He has seen it before I start smolov and it was slow. Now he's seeing it for the first time after running smolov for mid cycle. So he say it's quite fast, and I would assume it's quite fast. So first set into the top set, so 80% plus 10 kg for 2 sets of 3 reps. Now to be more exact, it will be 1 set of 3 reps because I bumped up the weight by 5%, and a not really sure what I have to say. Overall, whole body seems to be a little bit more confident. My legs were giving me a little bit of problem. I was a little bit tired on the legs. Mostly on my left side. I can feel a little bit more strain on the left. But I told myself just to be patient about it. And yep, the most fucked up thing that has ever happened is a girl did not see my camera apparently, and my friend kenric came to the rescue. So thanks, kenric. Really appreciate it. I'm able to get some of the footages done, and apparently the girl is straight blind. And here you go. Bukia.net. Now that was a bit of a joke there, just to have fun a little bit, because my friend finally come back. He decides to take out and try on the suit. So a little bit of having fun with him, and it's not offensive. I'm not bullying him. And yeah, so I shouldn't get by any chance reported, like him reporting one of my friends who disrespectfully have his face on. But for this one, it should be fine because we were a little bit more confident in each other. So 162.5, and finally touching this weight for even 3 reps. So quite happy with it. Patience was the key to this lift. As typical, always be patient. And I think I remember saying how easy this lift was, even though it was a grind. It was expected because 3 reps, and of course I redid 1 set of 155. My legs are meant to be tired in the next set, so I was pretty happy that I make a wise choice and chose the right one. So my friend is benching on the other side. I'm doing bench close grip, so 80 kg for 1 rep, and it was a fast movement, so that's good. Next weight is 87.5 for 75% plus 5, 3 times 2. And the main thing about close grip that I'm finding right now, aside from mimicking Leroy, is that it does help a lot in terms of my lift, especially when I return back to calm mode. I feel my tricep being the secondary firing machine that back then it fires a little bit, so I barely felt it. Now I felt it a little bit more. I can sense the firing machine firing a lot, and it does help, especially when you're moving on to a wider stand grip, because it is essential to have a second firing system. So it's not just your chest, it's about working on your tricep, and sometimes even on your legs, because you need the leg drive. But me, you know me, I have a poor back. Well, I have a twitch back, so I can't use too much of leg drive. So instead, I have to focus on tricep, chest, and bicep just to get stronger. Anyways, finally, moving on to the final set of the calm grip, 102.5. Pretty happy with it. Had my friend unrack for me because weights are still heavy, so can't really unrack that myself, huh? So unracking it, I was being a little bit patient. I lost kind of a little bit more of my arch, but I got it up quite easily. So another one would be a pause. Yep, it's a pause, it's a grind, but I did it. I was pretty happy. I even say it was fucking easy. So Warm-ups for deadlifts. Deadlifts. I've been working on my conventional, you know me. Because I have a twitch lower back, and that's the reason why I switched to sumo. And in fact, I'll stick to sumo for the rest of my life. But one thing that irritates me, that later you'll see, leads me to my new PR for conventional, is that I tend to see people complaining about sumo being able to pull more than conventional due to the fact that due to the fact that sumo is a little bit less range of motion. And for me, I'm not one to say I'm not one to deal with stupid people, because they clearly do not understand the meaning of leverages. And for me, it's all about playing safe in powerlifting. It's not ego lifting, it's powerlifting. And the best way to actually PR, it's not on your lips, it's on your total most of the time. So you have to play it safe and get smart. So 155, I actually did it for 3x3, then proceed to 165, and continue my story. I guess I got a little bit irritated by people saying that sumo is a cheater's pull, when in fact you can pull the same weight as conventional, and I kind of prove it right by having same pull. Actually, I won't spoil it, you would see it later, so later you'll see it yourself. And another thing that I think benefits me is the belt that I'm using. Now note how I use sumo. I use the liver belt, and when I'm using conventional, I tend to use strong belt. I guess the belt does affect my performance. Liver does affect me a lot during conventional. And prone doesn't give me as much tightness as I want to compared to when I was doing sumo with a liver. So apparently I need two belts, so the more the merrier, apparently. So, sumo 195 kg. Pretty much this thing went fucking smooth. It's moving up very fast. In fact, I could say this is a confident RP8. Yep, breaking off the ground and lockout. The range of motion of the lockout is definitely much better, so thank God. Finally hitting 200 kg for my third set. Pretty excited, because a lot of things I've been waiting for is putting 200. One of the things is the grip sucks. The bar isn't as good as I want to, so I have to do a redo. This time with straps, because straps are efficient training methods, aside from using chalk when you just want to pull the weights without adding chalk. Or you're just a lazy fuck like me who doesn't want to clean up. Alright, so 200 kg, and one guy decides that it's a good time to walk behind me. Great fucking job to that fucking guy. So a little bit tired from pulling 200, so no surprise if I have a little bit of a lockout issue. But otherwise, lockout also has been my biggest problem. I've been trying to fix it. But otherwise, every time I pull heavier and heavier, I guess my lockout starts to understand that it has to get stronger. So most of the time, I don't have to do with lockout hardness problem. But I do tend to train as much as I can with deficit conventionals with resistance to add on to destroying literally my hip so that I can lock out even better. In case you guys didn't know, destroying and reconstructing. So 190 kg, new PR. No, I'm just joking. The current PR for my conventional is 200. So 195, that felt smooth. And what was that? Seriously, honestly. 200 kg, finally touching my PR. And I was pretty confident that I was able to hit it. Because I know for sure that I have to prove someone wrong. Because it's good to know that that if you care so much about this type of people, you truly, it's almost like talking to a wall and there's no point to it. But sometimes the best way to literally shut them up is to prove that you yourself can do it as well. So right now I'm confident to say that I am a conventional and sumo puller, and able to pull two of these at the same weight. So I'm able to pull 230 for both conventional and sumo. So almost hit my tripod and almost fall. So 210, you can see how fast it moved. In fact, I would have moved to conventional if it weren't for my tweet hits. But then I realized my style is more towards sumo. I'm a little bit more patient, so. Yep, 210. it was a currently type with sumo 220 kg, and you see that afterwards I'll try to attempt a 225, but my form breaks so badly and my hips and my lower back hurts so badly, I decided to just give up on that spot because no point injuring yourself over a PR. So 220 kg, and in fact, I shouldn't even be PRing. That's affecting me now. No worries. I should be able to recover very fast. And 230 kg, finally being able to pull it very easily. Lockout, same problem as I would with sumo, and you could see why I would stick more with sumo, because bringing up the ground seems to be more my key towards lifting. And this bunch of Chinese Chinamans decide to show me some respect, in the sense that they don't want to well, I'm not sure about that very large guy, but 5 kgs to attempt breaking my sumo, but I guess they show some respect and decide to not block my way. So that's good. Thank you to those fellas. But you could see why I'm more prone to a sumo, because breaking off the ground seems to be more my key, and locking out seems to be my biggest problem. So for me, I decide that sumo is still my thing. Just have to lower a little bit of the range for sumo, and I should be able to lock out most of the time very easily. And deficit deadlifts, because you can't leave a training session without accessories. So deficit deadlifts specifically to help with your hip problem, and by hip problem I mean lockout problem. So 110 kg, during the last set I decided to bump to this weight for 5 times 5, and it was an easy lift. I was pretty happy with it. And next thing is, well, technically the last exercise, explosive row. So 5 times 5, 80 kg. So either way guys, we'll be hitting another PR for all 3 lifts, but of course this time with sumo on December 31st. So let's end this. Bye.